Part 1. Time and Crowd Distribution Strategies. Have you ever wondered why Delhi NCR feels like it's always stuck in time and traffic? It's not just about too many vehicles. It's about when and how we all move, at the same time, on the same roads, through the same choke points. That's why we begin with a powerful shift, a framework that doesn't just expand roads. It reorganizes time itself. Segment 1, Staggered Mobility Framework. Imagine a city where government offices open at 9, tech parks at 10, retail zones start by 11, and each sector flows in its own rhythm, not crashing into one another. This isn't a dream. It's called the Staggered Mobility Framework. By staggering school, office, and market timings, we break the very peak-hour traffic patterns that trap us daily. Segment 2, Decentralizing Office Pressure Zones. Why are back-end offices of government and private firms still located in the heart of Delhi? Let's shift them to Rohini, Narela, Dwarka, Greater Noida West. Decentralizing non-public-facing offices frees up space, roads, and the city's breath. Segment 3, Rotational Weekly Leave Model. Now imagine this. What if Sector 62 took its work-from-home day on Friday, Gurgaon's Cyber Hub on Wednesday, and Connaught Place on Monday, spreading leave days like we spread planting seasons, to reduce load without reducing productivity. Segment 4, School Time Optimization. And yes, our children matter most, not by keeping them at home, but by making their travel safe, peaceful, and smart. We introduce a 2-slot school system. Primary classes begin at 7:30 a.m., senior classes at 7:50. No long gaps. No stress on teachers, just smooth coordination. This is not just about traffic. It's about trust, time, and transformation. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe now as we rebuild movement across Delhi NCR, one decision at a time. Part 2. School-based mobility reform. Let's take a moment to focus on our children, the heart of every family, and often, the cause of our earliest traffic jams each day. Segment 1, Smart School Transport System. What if 5 schools in one zone shared just one set of buses, planned as a single system? Imagine fewer vehicles, less chaos, and more smiles at the gates. This is cluster-based school transport, a simple, smart step towards a cleaner, safer commute. To further smoothen the flow, we propose a 2-slot school timing model. Slot 1, 7:30 a.m. for primary students. Slot 2, 7:50 a.m. for senior students. Just a 20-minute buffer, enough to prevent crowding, yet close enough to protect teacher routines. Segment 2, Suraksha Link, a communication lifeline for students. Next, we introduce Suraksha Link, a secure mobile device designed specially for school children. No social media, no distractions, only pure protection. It connects the student with their parents, their school helpline, and emergency contacts. Up to 15 verified numbers. It also features an SOS button, geo-fencing alerts if the child leaves a safe zone, and even a silent ambient listening mode, in case help is needed but words can't be spoken. Segment 3, Teacher Transport Efficiency System. And while we protect our children, we must care for our teachers too. A simple carpooling app, just for educators within 5 kilometers. And pre-scheduled shared shuttle routes across school clusters can reduce travel fatigue and increase safety, especially for women staff. When a city protects its educators and children, it builds the foundation for ethical growth. This isn't just traffic planning, it's future planning, it's family planning, it's nation planning. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe now, because our schools are where transformation begins. Part 3. Technology and AI systems. Imagine if your city could think, if it could sense crowd buildup in real time, redirect traffic before jams even happen, and prioritize school buses or ambulances without a single human command. This is not a dream. This is Sentinel AI, Quantum Edition, a vision for Delhi NCR, born from India's own scientific mind. Segment 1, Sentinel AI, Quantum Edition. At the core lies the neuro-empathy engine, an algorithm that doesn't just count traffic. It reads behavioral patterns of traffic officers, predicts emotional stress levels, and nudges them gently toward calm, empathic responses. But that's just the beginning. Sentinel AI receives data from CCTV, drones, mobile complaints, and traffic signals across the NCR. It analyzes traffic density, harassment risks, road blockages, then acts in real time, redirecting congestion, rebalancing green light flows, highlighting zones where citizens feel unsafe. This is real-time responsive governance, powered by AI. Segment 2, RFID QR Vehicle Tagging System. Next, we embed intelligence into our vehicles. All school buses, ambulances, and delivery fleets receive RFID or QR-coded IDs. This allows checkpoints and signals to identify them instantly. During peak hours, these tagged vehicles glide through priority lanes without delay. And in emergencies, AI clears a green path ahead so lives are not lost to red lights. Segment 3, Real-Time Lane Reversal Green Corridors. Picture this, it's 8:30 a.m. Traffic from Noida to Delhi is surging. The system senses it, and instantly, with digital boards and sensor-linked barriers, one lane is reversed, turning a regular road into a smart flow channel. These are called dynamic green corridors. They shift as the city breathes, they flow like thought. With AI, we're not just managing traffic, we're building trust in technology, we're enabling compassion in movement. And most of all, we're creating a city that adapts to its people. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe and share this vision. Because Delhi NCR deserves more than just signals. It deserves intelligence on the streets. Part 4, Transport Infrastructure Modernization. What if we stopped stretching the roads and started rethinking them? Delhi's roads weren't made for this era. But what if we made new layers above and below? What if we added a third dimension to traffic? It's time to stop fighting for space and start building smarter. Segment 1, Multi-Layered Road Network. A single road, reimagined as 3 levels of motion. Level 1, subterranean freight tunnels. Heavy trucks, logistics, supply chains, moved underground. Level 2, surface roads. What you see now, made cleaner, better managed. Level 3, elevated emergency EV lanes. Dedicated paths for ambulances, fire vehicles, and green electric mobility. It's vertical logic, it's smart congestion control, and it's the future of Delhi NCR's most overburdened corridors. Segment 2, Urban Tram Corridors. Let's take inspiration from Europe, but ground it in Indian context. Imagine a silent, solar-powered tram running from Connaught Place to India Gate, from Noida Sector 18 to Botanical Garden, from Gurugram's Udyog Vihar to Huda City Center. Low height, low cost, and high people capacity. A system that replaces 500 cars with one graceful glide on tracks. Segment 3, Elevated Cycle and Pedestrian Highways. Delhi once walked freely. Now even a 500-meter walk feels like a risk. It's time to reclaim the walk, but not on crowded roads. We propose skywalks and skycycle highways, above Outer Ring Road, over DND, beside Akshardham Metro. Solar lit, shaded, safe for women, children, elderly, and built not just for speed, but for dignity. We cannot build over yesterday's roads and expect a better tomorrow. What Delhi NCR needs is not just infrastructure. It needs vision. It needs elevation, in roads and in resolve. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe now, because the road to the future isn't flat anymore. Part 5, Parking, Road Usage. Space optimization. Let's be honest, half of Delhi's traffic problem isn't about cars moving. It's about cars standing still, illegally parked, badly parked, or simply abandoned. It's time we made parking smarter, road space fairer, and our city breathing again. Segment 1, Smart Parking Systems. Step 1, digitize the chaos. Every market, RWA, hospital, and metro zone should have QR-based smart parking. Book a slot in advance, pay by the minute, get real-time updates when it's full. No circling, no honking, just precision. And for high-density hubs like Carol Bagh, Lajpat Nagar, and Connaught Place, we propose vertical mechanical parking towers. They take 1/6 the space and hold 4 times the vehicles. Because parking should go up, not out onto the streets. Segment 2, Road Usage Reclassification System. Every road can't serve every purpose. That's why we propose a color-coded road usage policy. Red zone, emergency and essential vehicles only. Orange zone, controlled public access like schools, hospitals. Green zone, free-flowing general traffic. AI monitors violations. Digital signage educates drivers, and access changes with the clock. This is how we move from lawlessness to logic. Segment 3, Freight and Delivery Optimization Zones. Every minute, a delivery van or truck enters a residential lane that wasn't built for it. Let's fix that too. We introduce a freight scheduling model. Heavy trucks, only from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. E-commerce vans, 4 p.m. delivery window. Two-wheelers, dynamic pathing based on school, hospital, and VIP alerts. All tracked, all timed, all organized. If roads are the arteries of a city, then poor parking and unregulated access are clots in the system. Let's clear the blockages. Let's regulate space. Let's make Delhi NCR not just larger, but sharper. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe for the next chapter in reform. Because sometimes, standing still causes more damage than moving forward. Part 6. Public Transport Experience Reinvention. Let's address the silent truth. Most people in Delhi NCR don't avoid public transport because they hate buses or metros. They avoid them because they feel unsafe, uncertain, and disconnected. But it doesn't have to stay this way. We can redesign public transport to feel smart, safe, and seamless. Segment 1. Real-time Metro Bus Tracking App. First, we give passengers control over information. A real-time app that shows when the next bus or metro is coming, how full it is, alternate route suggestions if one line is crowded, and whether the station has clean facilities or safe corridors. A single glance, less anxiety, more confidence. Segment 2. One-tap intermodal travel pass. Now imagine stepping out of a metro and tapping the same card to board an e-rickshaw or feeder bus. No cash, no QR confusion, no arguing with the driver. This is a unified travel pass. One tap across every mode of transport. Simple, secure, synchronized. Segment 3, gender-safe transit protocols. And most importantly, we make our transport gender-intelligent. Dedicated pink seating zones. Panic buttons in every coach. AI-based camera surveillance. Instant alerts for flagged behavior. Public blacklisting of repeat offenders. This isn't just protection. This is prevention with precision. When public transport becomes predictable, when it feels safe, clean, and worthy of trust, people return. And with every person who switches from car to metro, we win back a little bit of our air, our space, and our sanity. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe now, because the future doesn't only move fast, it moves together. Part 7. Environmental neighborhood mobility. Not all movement is about speed. Sometimes movement is about healing, about reconnecting with breath, trees, and silence. Delhi NCR doesn't just need faster roads. It needs greener pathways. It needs neighborhood mobility. Segment 1, car-free urban corridors. Once a week, imagine this: a lane in your colony, where no horns blare, no engines idle, and no cars stand parked. Instead, children draw chalk art, elders walk safely, cyclists ride freely. We call these green walk zones, regenerative urban corridors activated every Sunday. A culture reset, one street at a time. Segment 2, civic scorecards for RWAs. Now let's bring citizen responsibility into the spotlight. Every Resident Welfare Association, RWA, gets a live civic scorecard based on real behavior. How many people carpool? How many EVs in the parking lot? How often are footpaths encroached? Are school zones walk-friendly? High-scoring colonies get property tax rebates, official green zone status, social media recognition from city authorities. Because community pride can be contagious. Segment 3, last-mile micro-mobility networks. And between metros and homes, let's close the final gap. We deploy fleets of rental e-cycles, app-locked e-scooters, 10-seater solar-powered shuttles, Available at every metro station, connected to your travel card, and GPS tracked for security. This is last-mile comfort without the cost of chaos. When a neighborhood becomes walkable, it becomes livable. When a community owns its mobility, the entire city breathes better. And when Delhi NCR shifts from noise to nuance, we don't just fix traffic, we reclaim belonging. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe and share, because mobility isn't just a system, it's a culture. And that culture begins on your street. Part 8, Critical Additions Based on City Reality. Let's not sugarcoat it. Delhi NCR isn't built like Singapore. It isn't planned like Amsterdam. And it doesn't behave like Tokyo. We have our own rhythms, our own constraints, and our own chaos. So if we want real solutions, we must face real limitations. Segment 1, Compact Road Infrastructure Mitigation. Delhi's roads are narrow, they're aging, and they weren't meant to carry this volume. That's why we propose elevation instead of expansion. Skywalks over narrow footpaths, mobile pedestrian mats in weekly rotating zones, elevated bypass lanes for emergency services. When we can't widen out, we must build upward, with purpose and precision. Segment 2, Smart Labor Transport Vans. Every day, lakhs of daily wage workers flood city centers, with no structured transit and no safety net. We propose mobile labor vans, subsidized shuttles linked with Aadhaar, running to and from major work clusters like ISBT, Sarai Kale Khan, and Sector 16 Noida. It's not a luxury, it's dignity, on wheels. Segment 3, Freight Delivery Control Program. E-commerce is booming, but so is illegal van entry into school streets, market gullies, and hospital zones. That's why we restructure. Time-banded entries for each zone, RFID delivery control towers at sector borders, digital fines for violating route corridors. It's not about stopping growth, it's about shaping it smartly. Segment 4, Traffic Karma, Behavioral Reforms for Citizens. Let's turn traffic into a game of good choices. We launch Traffic Karma Cards, a digital score based on how safely you drive, how little you honk, if you let ambulances pass, if you carpool when you can. Points add up. You earn petrol discounts, metro rewards, or public appreciation. Because being a responsible citizen should feel rewarding. Segment 5, Pledge Walls in RWAs and schools. And finally, we build a new culture, not with law, but with pledge. At every school, RWA gate, and community center, we paint public pledge walls. People write, "I will never jump a red light. I will not double park. I will give way to emergency vehicles." Because change begins not at intersections, but in intention. This isn't about importing foreign ideas. It's about creating an Indian model, rooted in truth, driven by science, and shaped by the spirit of public good. This is the Delhi NCR we deserve. You're watching Professor Diaries. Subscribe, share, act. Because traffic isn't just a system, it's a mirror of what we tolerate or what we choose to transform. The road ahead. Sometimes a city doesn't just need more flyovers. It needs a mind shift. Because traffic is not only about roads, cars, and signals. It's about patterns. It's about people. And it's about the choices we repeat every day. Delhi NCR is not just a place on a map. It's a living organism, breathing through its streets, pulsing through its crossings, aching through its congestion, and dreaming of something better. The pillars we've built together. In this journey, we've reimagined it all. From staggered office hours to school time buffers, from AI-powered traffic lanes to green walk corridors, from tram systems and skywalks to last-mile micromobility, from gender-safe buses to traffic karma scorecards, from Sentinel AI to public pledge walls. Not one idea, but an ecosystem. And make no mistake, we are not waiting for foreign cities to inspire us anymore. We are building an Indian model, sustainable, inclusive, intelligent, and deeply rooted in our own reality. The question is no longer, why doesn't someone fix traffic? The question is, when will we take the wheel? Because the road ahead is ready, And now, so are we. You've been watching Professor Diaries. This is not just a video. It's a call, a blueprint, a beginning. Subscribe, share, act. Because real cities aren't built with concrete. They're built with consciousness. Join us on this journey of knowledge, wisdom, and discovery, where learning knows no limits and ignites the soul. Stay curious, stay inspired. If you found value in this, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to Professor Diaries. Hit the icon for the latest updates and help spread this wisdom to others. This is Professor Diaries, signing off. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing.